So, y'all, I'm on my way from New Columbia, Pennsylvania to Mount Holly. Got a long ass drive on me. I figured I would come in here and deal with Kamala and Joe. First and foremost, let me say though that I really appreciate all the messages that I'm receiving of encouragement. People let me know they're listening to my shit, applying my shit. I really appreciate that. I appreciate those uplifting messages. I appreciate everybody that's ordering t-shirts from me. If you haven't, the links are in the description box. Got some nice t-shirts, pro-black t-shirts, putting our images on t-shirts. And I'm also selling face masks. Y'all black folk gonna be wearing face masks. I figured they might as well be pro-black. I also have those on my Teespring site. I do the designs on there, so check those out if you haven't already. Some people already have. I appreciate y'all. Mad love to y'all for showing me that type of support. The way you can support this video is by, of course, liking it and sharing the video. Now, y'all listen. We saw Kamala Harris get lit up when she tried to run for the Democratic nominee to be the president. She got lit up then. Even though she still had some supporters, her anti-black rhetoric and her anti-black record came back to bite her in the ass. She did some interviews where she said that she ain't got nothing, has nothing, don't want nothing to do with doing nothing for black folk. This to me can be based on her being an Indian, not a Native American, an actual Indian. People from India, those people be racist as fuck. Now, I know y'all trust them because they set up 7-Elevens in the hoods and listen to some rap songs, use your slang, yo, 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 what's up, what's up. Them bitches are racist as fuck against black people, in which case I could give a fuck less about them at all. Okay? This is who Kamala Harris is. Now, she tries to come out here and use the fact that she went to an HBCU and the fact that she is in a Greek sorority to gain leverage with black people. Now, that has worked with many black people. That has been good enough for many black people. But, of course, y'all know that ain't good enough for me. Bitch, you're Indian and pledging Greek and you married a cave. So, all of her... this is before we even get into her locking black men and women up over in California, as she was the AG over there. That was her mission. It was to lock up black people. When you find these prosecutors and people in these positions, these black people that are in these so-called power positions, they are still anti-black in their behavior, in their movements, in the decisions that they make with this system. They are partners with this system to be against our people. This is why no matter how many lawyers, judges, police chiefs, and all this shit we have out here, black people are still the #1 incarcerated people in this nation. There's a reason for that. That's because these people are anti-black. And they take those oaths. When they take those oaths, it is to uphold white supremacy. That's what the oath is about. It's not to uphold humanity and the law and all this shit they be talking about. That's not what it is. It's to uphold white supremacy. That's the oath that these people take. So understand, just because somebody is black and they a judge don't mean they're for you. They still locking your motherfucking ass up. Okay? Okay. This is who Kamala Harris has been. Now, black people's mentalities. I've watched us throughout the history, studying our history. We are a people who this society is able to use hope, our hope, against us. We always hoping for some shit, hoping for change. And I would correlate this into the mentality that we've been raised upon that is built in hope. The very religion that we receive is built in hope. And the same hope that we have in the system is the same hope that black people have in Jesus Christ. It is just as ignorant to believe in voting and this system working for black people as it is to believe that there is a being out here that is working for black people. Both things are just as ignorant. One thing builds on the other. You're taught how to pray before you're taught to vote Democrat. Voting Democrat is a part of the traditions that we have that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay? Now, you have Kamala come out here. Joe Biden was petitioned and, black people were calling for him to put somebody black on his ticket with him. Preferably people wanted a black woman. This is what people were talking about. This is looked at as now some form of progress. Because a so-called black woman is running with Joe Biden as his vice president. We saw what happened with Barack. Again, another situation when we was looking for some hopeful shit. And of course, Barack Obama supporting this. And you'll see many of the black celebrities supporting this shit. And I done told y'all, these black celebrities are coons. Whether it be intentional or not, they are coons. They're not fit. They're not equipped to represent the mentality that some of us have. Again, not enough of us have it, but some of us have this mentality like, what the fuck is Kamala doing here? And why are you niggas standing up clapping for this? How the hell is Joe Biden getting standing ovations? Because we understand that Joe Biden was getting standing ovations. Again, black folk was hoping to have somebody less overtly racist than Trump. And of course, now that y'all have Trump as the beginning and end of all racism here in America, 3Ks don't get this shit fucked up incorporated. Now that y'all have him as the beginning and end of racism, then replacing him will be the solution for racism in this country. This is the hope now that black people are running with. Always hope. Even when they gave y'all the right to vote, we hoped that that would do something for our people. But see, to me, by now, hope should be done ran out. Now we have to deal with reality. Not hopes and dreams and this fantasy world that we've created for ourselves. You have these celebrities that y'all uphold, even the political pundits that you uphold, these Democrats. These Democratic political pundits are leading you astray. These Democratic shills are leading you astray. We're doing the lesser of two evil things, and that seems to be Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, regardless of their record, as to how it pertains to our people. You know that Joe Biden was a part of the crime bill that incarcerated fathers. Because when you say black men, some people they don't feel the black men part. Black men are, disposable. They're nothing. These motherfuckers were locking up fathers with pride. They took pride in locking up our fathers. For what now the caves are receiving therapy for and treatment for, they were locking up our parents for. That should be an issue to black people. But it's not. I'm still seeing black people praising a Joe Biden and Kamala Harris ticket, which is the same as black people praising mass incarceration. And then you had these people out here. A lot of the ADOS peoples were touting this narrative, this threat that, well, if you don't have no black agenda, we ain't even voting for you. That's changed. Because we see that nobody had a black agenda whatsoever. But now people are saying, well, you got to go vote for something. Because not voting for Trump is a vote, or not voting because you don't give a fuck is a vote for Trump. This is the new spin that's being put on this thing. Y'all making all these fucking threats and they don't mean anything because you won't follow through with it. Now you just got to get Trump up out of there. Nobody has a black agenda. Nobody's presented a black agenda of any kind. As a matter of fact, the Democrats that are running, their political careers have been completely anti-black. And y'all would fashion this as something better than the racist cave that is the president right now. because of hope. Black people are controlled by hope. Y'all hope Joe Biden isn't as racist as Donald Trump. You're going to hope that Kamala Harris can come in here, and even though she says she's not doing anything for black people, you're going to hope that she'll at least be better than Trump. This is that hope shit. The very ideal that your religion is built on. Hope. And that's been used against you because they use the hopeful ideas of black people as to some type of milestone for black people. And we've allowed that. We've let that be okay. And we're not seeing the fuckery for what it is. I've made the statement. I did this on a Facebook post. And I've said this several times throughout making these videos, is that I will vote when someone is coming and speaking to my interest. As you say that black people died and were murdered, really murdered, for their right to vote, wouldn't they have also been murdered for the right for me to choose somebody who is aligned with my ideology? I've never heard a political person in line with my ideology, and thus there's nothing for me to be voting for. That's my logic. Now, you may not agree with that logic because most of us are products of fear. So that hope and this fear is going to make you go down to the polls and vote and still be a bottom caste. Not have an issue with you filling the prisons up. Not have an issue with these motherfucking caves out here selling marijuana all willy-nilly. While our people's in prison for that, that's going to be okay with you. Nobody rectifying that. Across this entire nation that isn't being rectified. But we don't have an issue with that. I do. And since nobody's dealing with that, dealing with things like that, I don't have anybody to vote for. Y'all are able to vote for fence straddlers. For people who come in here and indirectly or directly insult you, indirectly neglect you, or directly, you don't have an issue with any of this. I have an issue with all of it. So I don't have a reason to vote, nor will you shame me into believing that there is some purpose in voting when I've studied the history. I don't understand at what point will we get out of the mindset of having this false sense of hope instead of looking at the fucking timeline. When will the timeline become relevant? When will reality become relevant to black people? I'm still waiting. My patience is growing thin. And then you got these older black people, my mom's age, my grandma's age, who have completely misled their children, their grandchildren, into believing in this ideology. These old fucking coons who also are receiving, a lot of them lived through the timeline. And they're ignoring the fucking timeline. Failing the minds of the children that they're supposed to shape and mold. This is reality. This hopeful bullshit that y'all be on is not reality. It is an illusion. It doesn't line up with what's going on out here in the world. Grandparents and parents leading us a fucking straight, talking about some hope, talking about some fucking voting. They are dead weight. And that may be hard for you to deal with because we love these people as the people who brought us into this world, the people who nurtured us and took care of us. But they are dead weight. Their ideologies do not match to true revolutionary change in this country or anywhere. There is no revolution in hope. There is no change in hope. There is an illusion of change. That's all that hope can provide you. That's all hope has ever provided us. We've been hopeful the whole time. This country will come throw out some fucking breadcrumbs that it allots to everybody. Not black folk specifically. It allots these crumbs to everybody. And black folk will see that as, well, at least we got that type of progress, because our self-esteem is very, very low. And our parents won't instill any self-esteem into us. We watch them eat the crumbs in enthusiasm, and we also eat these crumbs with an enthusiasm, and we pass this mentality down to our children. This shit is not good enough. I'm not in the position to where I'm going to sit around and be hopeful and happy with no fucking crumbs. When I see the atrocities that this country has taken, the acts that it has taken against my people, why the fuck am I going to be happy about that? Most of our people are dead weight. Coon ideologies. And the reason that I'm going to have to call them coons is because they're ignoring the fucking timeline. How do you ignore the timeline? How do you ignore the events that have been taking place in real life? This isn't an extremist point of view. It's looking at the fucking timeline. What are y'all paying attention to? How can you see the timeline and still enthusiastically call yourself voting for a Joe Biden or a Kamala Harris? How are you still voting for people that are anti-black? How is that empowering to you? I'm seeing it being painted as some type of empowerment. How? How is the fuck is that possible for it to be empowering to vote for a cave racist and a so-called black racist towards our people? Of course, we talking about anti-black. Don't get it fucked up. How is that empowering? It's being called black girl magic and all this shit, and it's like, how? You have people who have large platforms, large followings that are supporting this shit. Black celebrities leading our people astray. And this is supposed to be empowering. I won't fall for that delusion. That is a delusional mentality to have. And I don't give a fuck if that gets me called negative. I don't give a fuck if people want to sit out here and tell me that, well, since you didn't vote, you can't say nothing about what's going on out here. Yes, I can. I've been looking at the timeline. Bitch, if you ask me, your stupid ass going to vote, you don't have a right to say anything about what's going on out here. Because you're the reason that they keep doing the shit that they're doing, because you keep falling for it. You keep taking your ass down there to the goddamn polls, acting like that's empowerment. You keep falling for the tricks. You don't have a right to say any goddamn thing. Whatever happens is what you signed up for. I didn't sign up for this shit. So you don't have a right to say anything if you ask me, because you signed up. Go put your little ballot in. You're signing up for it. I didn't. I have every reason to express my discord, express my anger with this system. You don't. You don't get to vote for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, and then when they start fucking up, you don't get to come out here and complain about it. You don't have that right. I do. You know these motherfucking voters are like to use this Jedi mind trick shit. No, bitch, you have to shut the fuck up. Because you thought. I didn't think. I looked at the timeline. I know what the fuck is going on. I'm not hopeful of what's possible, of potential. I'm looking at the timeline. looking at the history, looking at this anti-black society that y'all black folk is still running around, begging them to throw you some fucking crumbs. And then they won't even throw you no crumbs. They throw everybody some crumbs. You'll get chalked into these minority groups. And that'll be good enough for you. You don't have a right to complain. You don't have a right to say anything. But me and the people that are like me, we have every right to. Because you're not even keeping up with politics. Black people are so politically ignorant. This is why we keep ignoring the fucking timeline. How can you ignore the political timeline? These voters will fashion themselves. They know all the bills, know all the legislation. They know everything that's going on. How? How? And you still going to get a fucking dumbass sticker and feeling good about yourself. How's that possible? If Joe Biden and Kamala Harris wins, y'all black people will see nothing change for our people. If they don't win, you'll get Donald Trump. He'll be in there and you won't see nothing change for our people then either. Because the system is fucked up. And until we take our battle, until we take our issue up with the system that is in place, nothing is coming from this system to benefit us at all. Not in reality. Not anything transformative. Not going to happen. Because y'all don't know who your enemy is. Y'all think it's the fucking cops. Y'all think that's it. Y'all think it begins and ends with the goddamn cops. This is your problem. This is a fallacy. They don't mind you turning all your rage against these cops. They don't mind you doing that. I got enough rage to spread out. I don't know about y'all, This is just me. I got enough rage to spread out. Because I can see the timeline. And how trash this system has been. And when you see black people out here falling for this shit, it's disheartening. It's discouraging. But this is where our people's mentalities are. They don't see anything wrong with this. I hope Joe Biden wins. I don't know if he is or not. I hope Joe and Kamala win. And when y'all black people still out here struggling, I hope that does something. Maybe that is what you need, an extra little piece. Maybe. Because the rest of the timeline ain't meant shit to you. Maybe this will. Maybe some more years of Trump will. We have thought that everything, the people that are out here waiting for black folk to wake up, we like, oh shit, this gonna do it now. Oh yeah, this right here gonna do it. And we keep being wrong, don't we? Don't you hate that? I be thinking, well, if this right here happens, and it does, it happens every time. If this continues to happen, then black folk ain't got no choice but to wake up. Nope. You got black folk out here excited that a bitch that was out here locking up our people is running for vice president. A cave that was out here signing legislation to make sure to lock up our people forever, to lock us up forever. Y'all is happy about that. Like I don't see how I don't see what it is gonna take for black folk. I don't know what it's gonna take. But I know that our minds are fucked up. I know that our parents and grandparents have failed us in every way. The civil rights generation, they failed us in every way. Because they set the standard for you don't have to be directly dealt with. You don't have to get anything transformative. It'll be good enough. It'll be good enough. And that mentality, the same mentality that the Christians passed down to us as well. Everything you go through, all the negativity, all the fuckery that happens, well, you know, it's a test of your faith. It's how you justify everything. It's just a test. It's a test of your faith. That is the exact same way this system treats us. We can just take it a little bit longer. It can get a little bit better. And we can keep moving and keep our hopes high. But y'all wild for this shit. Y'all is wild as hell for this shit. And it's just, you know, I don't understand our people. I really don't. I really don't understand our people and what it's going to take for us to look at the timeline politically, whether you look at the political timeline, whether you look at societal timelines, whether you look at the timeline just as in America 3Ks don't get this shit fucked up incorporated as a whole. I don't see how you look at this timeline and be happy that Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris. I don't see how that excites you. But that's all the fuck I wanted to say about this shit. It's discouraging, it's disheartening, but this is where we are. I would have thought that Trump would have had y'all a little further, you know, as far as how you look at reality. But all he did was give you niggas something else to be scared of, and thus now you're reacting from fear, and from fear nothing can change from fear, other than somebody that's to you, in your opinion or in your mind, a little less racist, and thus that makes them the lesser of two evils. And that's what fear does. You send somebody out here like Donald Trump, and you know, Joe Biden can show up, and regardless of how many thousands and even millions of black people that's been locked up, and Kamala Harris, same situation, they'll be better to you. That is very interesting. And what's also interesting is the fact that y'all's forever President Barack Obama vouched for Joe Biden. He also now vouches for Kamala Harris, regardless of what they've done against black people. And y'all still support Obama and Michelle. Y'all still support them. Like, it's so crazy. But y'all like, share, subscribe. Links to follow me on social media in the description box. Black first, second, and third. And we don't got nobody to vote for. And thus, we not going to vote. We're going to continue to be a beacon of black pride and hopes that at some point it is contagious. And it takes over the minds of millions of our people, and so we can make real change out here. Because with the mentalities that we have, no real change is going to be able to come, and no real progress is going to be able to be made, because we continue to fall for the same tricks. And if you look across the timeline, these are the same ones. And the celebrities that y'all are following, that are celebrating this, you may not have a problem if you are supporting these celebrities. There's a good chance that you're a coon just like them. But some of us who are fashioning ourselves as woke and still got that celebrity worship shit in you, I'm hoping that now you can see. I'm hoping that you open your eyes a little bit more and you can see the fuckery that is behind our people being led astray by the biggest influences that we have in our society. I'm hoping that makes you mad. But we'll see. Shout out Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. I'm out.